Okay, welcome to spring 2024 of the AOS program. The courses that I'll be talking about uh, or I'll be teaching will be this one, which is, let me scroll, let me scroll. This one, as you can see, is Excavation 201 2024. We'll talk a little bit about probably a little about module week one, the week one module, and probably the week two module. Uh, I think, well, I'll probably put two videos up. But right now, let's get started. Many of you have gone through this. It's a requirement. We're going to talk about the format, which is LMS, Canvas. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Here's week one, as you can see, and each week it's about the same. There's an introduction, there's an overview, and then I always add this overview that has the week's objectives, and week one has not changed since in the past 3 years. This is what week one is about: is get familiar with the online format. Uh, uh, be sure you understand, and the way you're going to demonstrate that there is a syllabus quiz that you understand the course outcomes, and these are the outcomes of the module. The course outcomes are listed in the syllabus. You'll have a syllabus quiz the first week, and be able to know what kind of equipment you need. In this course, it's textbook, probably a piece of paper, and in some cases, I will send you supplemental information that may help with the course. Uh, Excavation 2 has not been done before. This will be this first run. If you haven't had Introduction to Excavation, which is Excavation 101, you probably are not supposed to be in this course. It's my understanding. So let me know, let Mr. Woodrum know, and so we'll see if we can get that verified. Uh, and your course textbooks. Primarily, we want you to understand the syllabus. The syllabus is kind of what guides us through the course. That has the rules in it. Let me go to the home page and talk about that just for you. I don't have all my links activated yet. It's actually 2 weeks away from. I'm doing this 2 weeks away from the start of the course, but I do have the syllabus activated for this video. I wanted to get the video done. I don't use the course calendar. I advise that you don't pay any attention to it. There'll be sometimes assignments put up here, but I want you to go by whatever the module you're in. Like we'll begin with module one, and that's what we're looking at right now, module one. And that tells you where you need to be. Each module is a week long. It starts on a Monday and it ends at midnight on or 11:59 that Sunday. That's when the following Sunday. That's when all the course material is due. So, quick run through the syllabus. I expect you to do this on your own. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. There's just a couple of things I'd like to really point out. One of them is, uh, is I'm sorry, I'm thinking about something else. Course information, it's Excavation 201. It's EX 201, that's course number. The course is Excavation 2. So it starts on the 8th of April and it goes through June the 16th, I think is a Saturday, and courses automatically close on Saturdays, I think. So it's not on campus, it's an online learning environment. Our LMS system is Canvas. If you want to go take a look at this is the company that uh, uh, owns it, and we subscribe. Each student has its own account, and you will see that we will be invited to each course or each module, uh, not each module, but each course. And sometimes that takes a while, but you get an invitation from either Instructure or Canvas, and there'll be a link on there that says Get Started. You click that, and it'll take you to a place where you fill out information to uh, uh, your profile, your course. You'll create a password uh, and a username. I'm assuming that's what all it takes. But anyway, you'll have a Canvas account, and that's when you will be able to. I will see that you have completed that and that you are in the course, and we will proceed from there. Here's your textbook, Excavation Systems Planning, Design, and Safety, not Safety First, Safety First Edition. Uh, that's the name of the book, your textbook. You'll get an ebook. Uh, the author is Joe Turner, and he's kind of been in this business for 40 years, I think. He's an early uh, what would you call it, developer of protective systems for trenching and excavation. So you will find that the book is overkill for my purposes, for the course purposes, but it's the only book that is going to cover what I want to cover. It'll have a lot of everything. It's probably designed for an engineer, so there'll be a lot of things in there that we're not going to fool with because we're not teaching trigonometry, and we don't require that you know algebra, which and statistics, but beware, we will talk about some static physics as we go along. We will not. That'll be in our in chapter 2 of your textbook. You can take a look at it. Uh, it's not really very complicated, but we don't have time to spend on it to really get a grasp of it. But we do want to talk about how it applies to design of trenching and shoring or protective system. This is the way I look at your grades. I give you 20%. I give a weight 20% to the final. I give essay assignments, which you receive a ton of. Multiple choice will be pretty much out the window in this course because there is a ton of information, and it would take longer to develop tests than it would to develop this course, multiple choice test. I'm not a big fan of multiple choice anyway. Multiple choice is easy on me because in Canvas, multiple choice questions are graded by Kansas. Essay questions are my interpretation of what you know. It's a little more subjective. And if I disagree with what you have, or you think I have counted something wrong and you think I'm wrong in doing that, you let me know. But I like essay questions because if you can tell me, if you can spell it out without having to guess between option A, B, C, and D, then I feel like you know it. So there will be a lot of essay questions. I advise you to read these chapters as we come to them. Each module will be based off a chapter, usually. So read that chapter in our last courses. I could easily see that you were thinking you knew what needed to go in there, but I suggest it turns out that we had some pretty low scores on our essays, but we also had some good scores on our essays. But you will need to read the chapters to score well on my test in this course. I'm not making it hard. because I want to. I'm doing it because it's just so much to, it's just going to be hard because there's a lot to do. So your time management will really come into play here. And as I say, every single time, if you get behind, or especially if you see something coming that's going to cause you to fall behind, let's get it on the, nip it in the bud. Let me know early. So get through this. This is Canvas. Spoke a little bit about it. There is a how-to video in the module, in module 1, that if you're having trouble and you still having trouble after that, we're not going to let you drown because you're having IT issues. Have them myself. Attendance is something you need to know and be able to explain. It'll be a question on our little syllabus quiz. So let's just read this policy for attendance. As you know, you're not coming to class every day. I don't even know where you live. So, and I may not ever see you, but that doesn't mean we still have to, we don't count attendance. Here's the way it states. In a distance learning context, to demonstrate academic attendance by the student, documenting that a student has logged into an online class is not enough by itself. The class instructor must demonstrate that a student participated in an online discussion such as the tailgate. Actually, that's kind of been modified. I think if you participate in any class, if you complete an assignment in not just the tailgate, but say a quiz, we will count you there for in attendance for that week, as attendance is based on a weekly basis. Okay, the class instructor has the authority to determine what constitutes commencement of attendance in a tailgate. Well, it's just going to be, I'm not going to know what commences attendance. If you participate in the tailgate, you will be counted here for that week. If you you will be counted present for that week. If you participate in an essay assignment or a quiz, you will be counted present for that week. I'm going to get on through this, but the tailgate, I think it'll talk about it. I'm going to make sure, because tailgate is a discussion. It has requirements, and I feel like that they're in here. So I'm scrolling through this because you can read this. That's just some things I want to talk about. This is what we strive to do: is get better, keep current with the industry. Learning management says in this one we will use Canvas, online Netiquette. We'll be talking back and forth in the discussions. Netiquette is like right here, engage in a polite, respectful, and coherent manner. I don't want slang. I don't want texting. I want formal written communication, both in discussions and essay assignments or any kind of written communication. If you send me a message, I'm going to answer it as soon as I can. Now, my regular office hours are noon till 8 p.m. Monday through Friday. Uh, and you need to know that for the quiz. But if you're at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're trying to finish up something before you go to work, or if it's a little after 8 in the evening and you're trying to get things done so you can get some rest and you get stuck, give me a call. If I'm here, I'll answer it. Shoot me a message through the Canvas inbox. That works. I'll answer it. Send me an email. All of that's above. We went past that, but it's in the syllabus. Here it is. As a general rule, we don't make up tests. If you have work-related or family-related issues that will interfere with the testing date, let me know in advance and I'll request an exception if it's warranted. Weekly assignments are due Sunday no later than 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. Any work submitted the following Monday after 5 p.m. will receive a 10% reduction in points. I need you to stay up. If you get behind, it gets me behind. If you ask for an extension, everybody, it's like an accordion. It'll slow down the whole process. That doesn't mean you can't have one. It just means try to keep up for yourself and for the movement and flow of the entire course. Behave, behave. That's what I got to say about that. I'm assuming that we're all grown-ups, right? And we all are going to make mistakes, but let's just be respectful. These are all in the catalog, and there is a link to the catalog, that right there. I just passed it. So I'm going to go back. This is all I'm going to talk about, the syllabus. I want to go back to home, and I hope I have covered everything. But I do want to go back to this home for the course and talk about this layout a little bit. This is where you don't get to make announcements, because you see this little eyeball. That means I can see this, but you can't. You don't create discussions, so you probably won't see this. You probably won't see this because this is where I grade your work, but you will get a copy as soon as I get it graded. You will be informed of what you missed and what was correct. This you will have, I'm assuming. I know it's got a blank, but maybe you don't need access to modules, all the modules. That's probably true. So it's good that you don't see it. I don't want you getting ahead. I don't want you getting behind. This would take you to the syllabus. This is where you join in on a big blue button. And after the last course, listen, some of you have been here for quite a while. Some of you are getting close to graduating. But the last course we had, we step up a notch every single course I teach. And this is going to be I don't know if you call it a step up in knowledge acquisition, but it's going to be a step up in how much work you have to do in the course Excavation 201. So keep up. Let's see what else. I think that's about all. But like I say, the tailgate. I think I got this link working. Okay. When you get to the home page on your account, I want you to go to this and I want you to read this. Tailgates come from the work where every morning or right before the job, the foreman gets everybody together, goes over potential hazards, what we're going to do to avoid them, points out, where underground utilities might be, how much productivity you want to have. The emphasis will always be on safety. So this has hurt many of you points wise, but in our discussion that we call the tailgate, let me just read this. In the context of our class, every week there will be a tailgate for students to engage in a specific topic. These tailgates will address various topics usually related to your course. Students will have the opportunity to engage in discussions with their fellow cohorts and instructors. And I would like to compliment everyone the last term. You had some good discussions. I appreciate that. Discussions are meant to exchange information to the benefit of this group, us. Here are the rules. This is the way you must do it. I need 3 posts each tailgate. Okay, now I've identified what those posts should be, but that's not as important really as I get 3. I need 3 to grade you through the grading application I use. So your first post must be submitted by Tuesday 11:59. Central Standard, that because I live in the Central Standard Time Zone. Your first, number two, the second post will be your first of two replies to a student, and that must be submitted by Thursday of that week prior to midnight. Now, what this is you're going to tell a student something you know, or something you learned, or something you didn't know, and ask them if they know in response to their replies. Before you can see the other students' responses, you'll have to post your initial post. You'll have to reply. Just when you get into discussion, click the reply button. In this case, if you're new, introduce yourself or start the conversation. The third post would be your second reply to another student, and it must be submitted by Sunday at 11:59. Sometimes I will not ask it in this way. Sometimes your discussion may be put to you in the form of, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? And what do you think about a third this? But I'm looking for three separate responses in any way I can get them, because that's what I grade you on. And let me tell you the pitfalls of not doing this. Your grade is based on criteria that I'll put it up at some point, uh, that contributes to the learning community. I want what you say to be meaningful. I don't want what you say to be filling up space. It's not how much you say, it's what you say that I look for. Is it beneficial? Is it helping me? Is it helping the group? So give it some thought. Make a kind of outline what you want to say. Don't start typing and then thinking. Think and then type. Plan out what you want to say. I can tell when somebody just starts typing and hoping something will come to them. I can tell when someone is just filling up space. You know, I know it's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. You're here because you want to move into management. That's not an automatic. You need to you need to demonstrate that you should be in management, and you have to do that from day one. So be able to talk when you get a new job or the job you're on. Be able to listen. you know be a contributor. you know you have a deal made with this employer. He says he's going to do these things, pay you this much money, give you these benefits. You say you're going to work hard in return. You hold up your end of the bargain. Now, if your employer doesn't, there's a chain of command. You know, I thought I was going to get $11. I mean, $15 an hour. I'm getting 11. What's up with that? And there's nothing that says you have to stay there. But as long as you're taking that person's money, you make sure you're doing your job, right? And it should behoove him, as long as you're paying uh, that guy, to ensure that that guy or gal's doing their job. So we spread these out, as you can see. Now, the main thing is there are 100. It's a, to you can the perfect score is 100 on this on any of my discussions. In your initial post, my rubric is designed in a way, if you meet the criteria, that you can make up to 35 points in your initial post. Your second post my rubric is designed so that you can make up to 35 points. And your third post, I have designed it where you can make up to 30 points. That adds up to 35, and 35 is 70, and 30 is 100. So if you leave out any of these first two, you have just lost 35 points, and guess what? You didn't pass this assignment, because it's 100 because you made 60. I'm sorry, you made 60 something points. So don't submit these uh, discussion assignments or posts until you have proofread. Don't submit the discussion until you are sure you have 3 posts. It doesn't take much for you to fail this, and it really doesn't take a whole lot for you to pass it if you'll give me 3 responses like I asked. Uh, if I see that you're trying to come up with something, and if I see that what we're doing doesn't have but one sentence to answer it, then that's what you need to do is give one sentence. I am not going to let you get by. Like it it it's just you. I get time and time again. I'll get a wonderful initial post. I'll get a really good second post. The thing gets submitted before they have a third post. They just failed. Or no, they made 70 at the most. They made 70. So don't wait till the last minute. Turn these things in as they're requested. First post by Tuesday, second post Thursday, and last your second response to another student Sunday. So I will give you comments on what you if I don't like what you're doing, and it doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means I don't like your way you're saying it, and I'll try to give you a way to say it. But I can't spend too much time on here. I'm not a grammar teacher. I expect you to know how to talk and how to write. And if you don't, we're going to have trouble. You know, I think you even have a gen ed course in the program somewhere that talks a little bit about grammar. So, but listen, I don't mind showing you a better way to say it. Uh, use periods where you need periods. Don't put commas where they're not needed. And stay away from semicolons because nobody knows how to use them. Okay, enough about tailgate. Proofread it before you turn it in. Let's see if I can get oh yeah, when you navigate, one of the things I learned, if I want to get back to the module, it has a way to get back otherwise. I think this might help me. No. Yes, right here will probably take me to here we go. I find course modules right here, and that takes me to the modules. If I want to go back to the home page where we started, I go back there. Okay. Uh, I can go on and on about this deal, but I'm going to wait and let me show you. Let me just give you an idea of what to get ready for. Uh, I'll have this video here when when the term gets started. Week overview will be your objectives for this week, which I may have already showed you, but just familiarity for the online format, understanding of the outcomes of the course. Your equipment used here will be paper, pencil, if you make notes at home, and your textbook. And usually we get the textbooks pretty good. In this case, it's going to be an ebook. And again, if I want to go back to the modules, if I can do it this way. Week 2 is when the work begins. We're going to spend some time in the textbook, and we're going to talk about the industry of trenching and shoring. We'll probably talk a little bit about the work categories. This will be in week 2, your assignment. Please read, you know. Then there will be this, well, I'll go ahead and say it, but these will be gone. They're taking up space right there. But we will end up using these. These are all out of OSHA. If this happens to be on the video, I didn't intend for it to, but each one of these will tell you how to design a shoring system given dimensions and types of soil of the trench, et cetera, et cetera. I want you to be able to be fluent in these Appendix A through F. For instance, Appendix D is all about aluminum hydraulic shoring and how to size cylinders, what your vertical lengths are, and it's all dependent on the soil. I'm going to quit teaching now, but uh, the tailgate is some facts about trench safety, and I think I tried to come up with something to talk about that's significant. And then here's your first test. It's an assignment, and I really like how this guy talks about the early days and the lack of safety, and how safety has become just another link in the chain of productivity. You got to be safe to complete the job and so forth. It's a pretty good little essay thing. It mostly in this thing, I think I've told you where to find what I want. And speaking of essays, if it comes out of the book, as long as it's not verbatim, uh, okay, as long as I can see you didn't copy and paste, and I can see when you copy and paste. Uh, I want it to be your answers to come from the book because that's what we go by. But I want those answers to be in your words. That's the best way to learn. Is look at when you find the answer in that book, look what it says, see if you can interpret it in your words. And if you can do that, you will retain that information. Okay, so I'm gonna give it up for this video, and you'll be hearing me again before the start of the course. So see you later.